So here I am on my browser, and I'm going to head over to Google Ads. So this is the Google Ads environment. From this point, we go to Tools and Settings and select Keyword Planner. So you get to this screen where it's up to you to choose whether you want to discover new keywords or get search volume and forecast. In this case, we will go with discover new keywords, and now they're asking us start with keywords or start with a website. Now let's start with keywords just to familiarize yourself. So by default it's start with keywords. All you need to do now is to go into the search box, select the language. By default it's English. Even location is by default geolocated to where you should be now. Start over here. For my website, Flight School, I'm gonna go flight training. I like to start really simple, really clean. So I go flight training and I click get results. In a moment of seconds, literally, I get a bunch of results. And the first thing I like to do is to swap the sorting from keyword to monthly searches. One click does a job. What does it do? It allows me to see very clearly keyword ideas and search volume. So now I pretty much can tell quite confidently that among all the keyword ideas that is available by this tool, the top volume search is in fact Flight School. Now what may Flight School be? The truth is that Flight School refers to my company, flightschool.sg, because before we started, this term would have no meaning because you wouldn't type flight schools, you will probably type in flying schools, which is probably a more common use of a similar business like ours. In this case, therefore, Flight School is a branded search. There's a difference between a branded search and a non-branded search. The branded search being that whoever's typing, where there's evidence of a brand or the existence of a branded search usually leads to the searcher going to the branded search website and making transactions automatically because it's a branded search term. If you do not want to compete with so many competitors, what do? Well, you do what the rest of the successful companies have done. Build a brand so that people go to Google to search you specifically. And the business is yours because they've already made up their mind that they're going to spend money with you. And that's the value of the branded search. The conversion also makes a big difference, by the way, because I've studied conversion rates between branded and non-branded searches, and of course branded searches will blow the non-branded searches off the roof when it comes to conversion rates. You also are able to have a relative volume decline as you watch and look at terms on the left hand side, and this is really one of the ways that we look at from a keyword research or keyword intelligence perspective. The right hand side, as I mentioned, this is fairly new. What it does here is that it basically provides you with guidance with what we call signboards. So assuming that you were searching for a branded versus non-branded, it would kind of give you the branded results and it gives you an ability to filter out the branded results. So in this case, for example, for flight training, if I go to the right hand side and select the airline keywords, which the search engine Google deems as a branded term, then it appears on the left as part of the filtered results. This basically allows you to navigate more easily. And let's say, for example, I don't want to be looking at airlines because they're all branded keywords. I'm not going to be able to compete with them. For someone is searching for Singapore Airlines flying training, that's not my target market. So I kind of non-compete. So do not compete with the airlines, and I uncheck them if they are by default checked, and I'll go for the non-brands. Now that refreshes the list, as you can see here, and suddenly we see that actually a lot of the mentions here are non-branded searches. Airlines and schools have the same effect, and that leaves the non-branded keywords to be displayed. Now this is a very useful feature because it allows you to segment between branded and non-branded very, very quickly at this stage without having to move over to the spreadsheet stage. What's the purpose and benefit of this? Well, it saves you a lot of time because you don't have to download a whole bunch of keywords only to have to remove them later. Over here, one click of the button helps you sort out the keywords in terms of relevancy from your viewpoint at least. That's where we are. And of course, you can choose to select all, and don't be distracted by the top option. The top option is really designed for you to add these keywords into your paid search campaign, but you're now using Keyword Planner from an SEO perspective. So you won't be doing this. You would basically select the keywords and go and click on download keyword ideas, which is something I recommend you do. Now, for those of you who are wondering how come your results look different from mine, because you probably have a range of values, like this case could be 100 to 1000 searches, which is for this to this to this, 100 to 1000 searches range, whereas this one could be 10 to 100. Why is there a difference between your data and my data? The only difference is because I'm running live paid campaign, which give me access to their live data, whereas you are likely not running a live campaign, and because of that, Google chooses in its sole prerogative not to let you see actual average monthly searches like 140, 110, 110, 90, 90, 50, 40, 30, but to give you an aggregate view, which is 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to 1000, and the list goes on and on. So that has nothing to do with you, but with the fact that Google shows live data like this to advertisers. If you're wondering whether or not the download of keyword ideas is a simple process, it is. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So you select your keywords, and it's important to pay attention over here what you're selecting, because you think that you're selecting all, but you're actually selecting only 100. And that's because it's showing 100 rows at one time. The best is to select all, which is here, and then click download keyword ideas. But before we do that, I want to show you the other approach, which you can start right from the front, which is here, discover new keywords, instead of going to the left, which you can actually, because you can actually key something in here. Or you can go start with a website, and what you key in, well, you can key in your own website like so, or you can key in your competitor website. Obviously, you wouldn't be keying your own website if you have a new website. You would be rather spying on your competitors. But nonetheless, I want to show you what it looks like. Start a website, URL, entire site, get results. You will see here that if I sort this out, I get somewhat a different set of keywords, and of course, this being an open book, anyone can do the same. So let's bear in mind that your competitors could access this keyword list, and there's very little you can do to stop them from doing that. Now, if you come to the top, you'll see here actually the difference between the earlier query and this is that this one has a site colon followed by space followed by URL. You can actually use that syntax or replace this with something else. And let's hypothetically take an example where you want to research on Manuka honey, like what I've done. Then all I have to do is to go to the first result, click through it, take the URL, Control C, paste, get results. So if I wanted to do my homework and my keyword intelligence on the keyword Manuka honey, this could be the answer. And of course, I will need to go through the results, filter the totally non-relevant keywords, and there's a process for that.